That entirely depends on how you want to control the temperature. So if you want a 10 Natus rated house and you don't want to actively cool the house, you're just passive only, that's one set of insulation techniques. If you want primarily active, so fully ducted air conditioning system, no ceiling fans, that's a completely different technique. In my opinion, we should have a combination of the two. I think that's the best balance between spending money at the beginning of your build and spending money during the lifetime of the build, because you are going to get 40-degree days where passive cooling is not going to work quite as well as you'd like. Or if you work from home and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's too hot, your brain's not going to work properly. It's just the nature of what happens. So I firmly believe in designing for both, somewhere in the happy medium. So I'm just going to talk about a passive design technique that I mentioned before first, and then talking about how we can make it a little bit more active. So I'm going to share my screen again. So last month I showed, I talked a little bit about stack ventilation, or the stack effect, and how if you heat up your roof, then it causes the hot air to rise. And if there's somewhere for the hot air to go, then it naturally wants to suck in the cooler air that's at ground level and take it up. So this is a passive cooling technique. And here's cross ventilation here, and just displaying the, oh, can we have that? I don't want to see that. Okay, so yeah, stack effect. So the way that works is you actually want the roof to heat up. So having a minimum R value in your roof might actually be of benefit to you, because the hotter that the top part of the stack is, the more likely it is to circulate around. But that doesn't work in every situation. And there's a cool way you can do it that's a bit more active, but much more effective. So I know, especially in Australia, a lot of people would have heard of a whirlybird. And they are just these big bulbous things that sit on the top of your roof, and they're a passive system, because as the roof heats up, they start to spin, because the hot air goes through them, spin, 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 and it cools your roof cavity, and it helps to bring in the cooler air underneath. These days, I'm going to press the button properly. Awesome. These days, you can actually get active vents. So this is your standard whirlybird, and these are solar-powered ventilators. So if you look at the airflow capacity of a standard whirlybird, you're looking at 100 cubic meters an hour, as opposed to 700, 1,000, nearly 3,000 an hour. So this one here is 27 times more effective than a standard whirlybird, because it uses solar power. And the great thing about these is some of them, not all of them, some of them have a thermostat. So when the temperature of the roof gets to a certain, temperature, then it will automatically turn on. So you can actually change it to suit. So that's a great example of an active and a passive cooling system. So it's a passive technique, but it's using an active system to make it more effective. This is old data. Like I said before, you need to check what's out there already, but at least you know that these exist. There's a whole heap of different ones, and some of them are actually electric, some are solar, some are just passive designs that are just being remade. So check that out. It's really, really awesome.